everyone and welcome back to my channel. If we haven't met before, my name is Shiv. Hello, if you're coming back then welcome. In today's video I am trying out the Morphe Makeup Bronze collection, and right here we have the eyeshadow palette, the bronzers and the highlighters and the brushes, and I created this very intense smoky bronze glam look with it, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. So if you'd like to see how I created this look and just kind of some thoughts on the collection, everything like that, then please carry on watching. Before you do, please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell to alert when I upload a new video. I'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to follow me on my social media pages. I'm shivonmakeupbiz on everything, mainly, you know, Instagram and TikTok. And without further ado, let's just jump straight into the video. So I've already done my brows and popped some primer on the lids just to save a little bit of time. Now I'm going to be taking the Morphe 35U Gilded Desert Palette. Like, how cool is this packaging? Perfect for like those summery festivals and holidays. And this is definitely a palette that I would reach to kind of like on an everyday basis. Your neutral palette, and it is just gorgeous. Like, I really love the tones in here. You almost have some like olivey undertones, like it's just gorgeous. So I'm gonna go in with a super dark like smoky eye with a bright inner corner highlight today. So I'm going to be taking the shade Sun Seeker, which is this one right at the top of the palette, which is a warm chocolatey brown. I'm going to be putting that right into the inner part of the crease to really create that depth before we move on to the rest of the eyes. I'm going to take this brush from Revolution. It's just like a skinny kind of pencil brush type thing. And I'm just going to go straight into that Sun Seeker shade right here. Just dip in, and I'm just going to pack that into the crease. I'm not going to go back and forth until I've got the shadow on the area that I'd like. Otherwise it's going to end up going patchy where I've got that damp kind of base. Just pack that down so there's no creasing. And then I'm just going to start by packing that into the eye. Like, zoom in a bit. Okay. Whoop, she pigmented. Okay, I'm just going to start by really stamping that into the outer corner, because that's where I want like the most darkness to be, and then I'll start bringing it in to that crease. Okay, so now I've kind of got that into the crease area, the super pigmented chocolatey brown shadow that I'm loving. The thing with Morphe shadows is because I've used so many of them, I just know how good the palettes are going to be. So if I say something, then it's going to be different, but usually I'm going to like the eyeshadow. So now that's on there, I'm just going to start going back and forth to smooth out that colour. I'm going to smoke it out a little bit, but I will be smoking it out with other colours. I'm now going to take a Morphe M506 brush, which is one of my favourite brushes. I always need to remind myself to buy more of these. They're like a small fluffy pencil brush. I am actually going to take the shade Dawn to Dusk, which is this one right here, this kind of caramelly brown colour. And I'm going to use that to start to blend out this chocolatey brown just by dabbing on the edges and then slowly buffing out. So I just tapped off the excess, and now I'm just going to start from the outer corner. This is going to look messy before it looks good, just as a heads up. I kind of feel like Julia Fox doing the uncut jams kind of TikTok trend, but we'll make it look a bit more smoky. So I'm just going to dab on the edges, and it will look a little bit messy before it gets good. I can't talk today. Just tracking that out of the outer corner to give it that kind of smoky look. Bit kind of grungy. Blend it all out. I'm going to take this shade called Bare It All, which is like a kind of like peachy beige colour, I would say, right here. I'm going to take it on a really teeny tiny Morphe M562 brush. I love using these for blending out very like harsh blends because it starts off nice and gradually, and then you can really kind of get in there. Draw my brush. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm going to take the shade Bare It All on this brush to blend that kind of darker warm brown shade out. Just going to start by stamping on this inner corner where it's kind of a little bit strange, just to lighten that up a little bit, blend that in, add some warmth back into the eye. Then what I'm going to go ahead and do is just go back through the colours. So just starting with that Sun Seeker shade, the super dark brown. I'm just going to buff that all the way through the crease, just making sure it's as smooth as possible. And then onto that Dawn to Dusk shade, the like warmer dark brown. And then lastly back in with the Bare It All shade, the like kind of peachy yellow colour, a very unique colour actually. Okay, now I get to choose the lid colours. For the lid, I want to do something a little bit different than my usual like go-to bronze or like copper colour. So I'm actually going to take the shade Look This Way, which is right here, which is like kind of like a cool toned brownie shade. I'm going to take that on a synthetic brush and just pop this all across the lid. I'm not going to wet the brush or anything like that. Okay, so I've got a good amount of product on the brush. I'm just going to go ahead and sweep this across the eye. Oh my god, that is stunning! Going to make sure that's on the main part of the lid, and then I'll slowly like bring it up into the crease for a super smoky eye. I'm not going for a cut crease. So gorgeous, that shade. Definitely something that I wouldn't typically use, but loving, loving, loving. Okay, so that's it for the main part of the shadow. I know it looks a little bit crazy on the kind of outer corners, but this is one of those looks that will all come together at the end. So I'm super happy with like the shimmer and everything. I think it looks super cool, super duper. So I'm going to take the Morphe Make It Big liner pen, which is amazing, just a felt liner, and I'm going to go ahead and add a wing to this look, just give the pen a good shake. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop on a wing. I'm just quickly tied up underneath my eyes a teeny little bit, just with a cotton bud and some micellar water, just because there was a little bit of fallout on my cheeks, and if we went to do foundation later on it would get everywhere. I've also just cleaned up underneath the wing, as you can see, just to make it look a little bit sharper, but this will all blend out once you've done the face makeup. So now I'm going to add some definition to the eyes, and I'm going to start off by taking the Morphe Always On Gel Liner in the shade Chocolate Craving, which is a brown liner pen, like a twist up pencil. I much prefer the brown liners nowadays to a black. I just feel like it makes the green in my eyes pop with still adding the definition that I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this into the waterline. And these eyeliner pencils are so creamy and easy to put on, like my new favourite. So amazing. Look at the difference. Amazing. Okay, I'm then going to go back to the eyeshadow palette and take the second shade that we use, which is Dawn to Dusk, right here, which is this like warm brown colour. And I'm going to take it on the same brush that I use and just run this underneath the lower lash line. When I put concealer on, it might kind of cover it up a little bit, but at least that way we've got the smoke there to start. Yes. Smoky eye, love it. Oh, my eyes look so smoky. I'm now going to put on some mascara, and I'm taking the Morphe Make It Big mascara. This one is super big. If you like really big lashes, then you will like this mascara. I'm going to be putting on falsies anyway, but I do like this. So yes, I have used it a few times. I don't know why I'm singing, but I'm going to pop some mascara onto my lashes, ready for the falsies. And just also to add some more definition, mainly because I do have quite like fair eyelashes randomly, so I just like to make sure I've got mascara on them before I put on falsies. Just starting from the root, wiggling a bit and then pulling upwards. For lashes, I'm going to be putting on the Morphe Hey Lover lashes, which look like... They look like this. They're super delicate fluttery lashes, but I thought they would complement this look beautifully because it will make the eyes look nice and like even and fluttery, but I'm still going to be able to see that like shimmery on colour on the lid. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these on off camera, and I'll be right back to start the face. So I'm back with my lashes on. They are super fluttery, and I feel like they're the perfect lash for this kind of look because you can still see the shimmer through, but they just add like the definition that the lashes do. So I love these lashes. They are so nice. Perfect like everyday lash as well. I'm now going to put on the MUA Pro Base Banana Blur Primer. I don't own a Morphe primer, but I just thought this would be really nice to smooth the skin out a little bit. So I'm just taking kind of like that amount, almost like a moisturizer. You can just also apply this to like the T-zone area, but I like to apply it all over. Massage that in. Now I'm going to use the Urban Decay Stay Naked foundation. This is in the shade 40WY, and I'm going to pop it on with the Morphe contour and highlight sponge. So funny, throughout this video my fake tan has been developing, so my skin is getting more and more tanned. Just did not have the energy to do it last night, but I'm trying to be better at you know, making a little bit more effort. Just got this foundation all over and blend it in until I'm kind of happy with the coverage. Let's do some ASMR. Spots on my neck whenever I don't look after my skin, so I put lots of foundation on my neck now to cover them up. Now I'm going to pop on some cream bronzer. I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills cream bronzer in the shade Amber, which looks like this. I love the packaging for these, which looks like this. I don't have a Morphe cream bronzer to use, but I do just love this one. I'm going to take it on a foundation brush and just kind of apply it in the contour areas. This one is super creamy, and I really like the shade because I find this suits me when I'm a little bit paler and when I have a darker tan on. I'm just gonna go on top of my cheekbone, so under there would be just my cheekbone. I'm gonna go just slightly above, just so when we blend it out it doesn't bring it down too much. Also gonna apply around the tops of my forehead, a little bit down the sides of my nose, and a little bit under the chin. Then I'm just going to take this Eyeshadow angled brush to blend it out, starting with the top of my forehead. Dab that to start off with because there's nothing on the brush. And then I'm going to blend out under here. And then under my cheekbone. Do have Morphe concealers, which is super exciting, and they are amazing. I've used them a few times already. I'm going to take the shade Light Warm, which is this one right here, and I'm going to pop it on the places that I usually put concealer, so on the chin, under my eyes, forehead, and a little bit down the nose. I know this looks super yellow, but this is really going to brighten the skin. I know the trend is to put a tiny bit in the inner corner and then just here, but for me personally I find I end up just blending it out under the eye anyway, so I just like to do the really old-fashioned way and put two huge triangles, inverted triangles, under my eyes. For me personally, that's just what I like to do. And then I'm going to take the same sponge to blend it all out, and just starting with my forehead. Now I've done concealer, foundation, that kind of thing, we have a nice base. I'm going to add some colour with the Morphe 2 Wish Tint Wonder Tint Cheek and Lip Mousse. I don't know what shade this is in actually. Wish? But it's just this really pretty pale kind of pink colour, but I really love cream blush and I just can't do my makeup without it. This is really nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this onto the cheeks with this angled kind of kabuki style brush from Revolution. So to go straight into the product, kind of dab it on my hand a bit and then just dab it on the high points of my cheeks. And then I'm just gonna start kind of just dabbing that on the top part of my cheek. Then to set everything into place, I'm going to take the Revolution Translucent Baking Powder and just dust this all across the skin. So now I've given the skin a little powder, I'll already put on the face products, which I have to show you in this video as part of the bronze collection. So I have 5 of the Bronze Show pressed powders, which are bronzes. They are a very interesting colour selection. One of them is very dark, which I don't think I'll be able to use myself, but I can give to a friend who has a darker complexion. But there is another shade in here which I think would be a really good nose contour, but if you were to look at it just from a bronzer perspective, I guess, on someone of kind of similar skin tone, you probably would avoid it because it's very cool toned, but kind of reminds me of the Physicians Formula bronzer that I use for down the side of my nose. So I'm gonna give it a go. So the first shade of these, I'm just gonna show you one by one. So we have Cocoa Woe, which is the very dark shade right here. Very kind of, I would say like neutral tone almost. I feel like if you were to brush that onto the skin, it'd be quite neutral. For someone with a darker complexion would suit this. So I'm going to see if any of my friends would like this actually. So yeah, that is that one. And I also think it's really good that they've come up with bronzers, as they should, for darker complexion. So there's that one. Then we have Touch of Sun, which looks like this. This one has a bit more of a warmer undertone, which is something that I will probably go towards on like a daily basis. This is like the bronzer tone that I usually would go for. It's a really nice colour actually. I'm gonna put that aside, so remember to use it. Then we have Bronze Vibes, which looks like this. This is slightly similar to Touch of Sun, very similar, just slightly more cool tone. Like they basically are the same, just one is slightly more cool, one is slightly more warm. So if I was to accidentally pick up one or the other, probably wouldn't make much difference to my overall makeup, but I think this would also be really good as a nose contour. Then we have Mocha Moment, which is another dark colour which has a much warmer undertone, which I think is a really good colour to have. And I know I have some friends with a darker complexion who tell me they can't find bronzers that go onto their skin that don't look ashy, so I think this is a really good option as well. I really like it. I think that's actually just a really beautiful colour on its own anyway, but that's really good. And then you have Tropical Tan, which again is a shade that I would use, which looks like this. I am going to take the shade Touch of Sun, which is the lighter one out of the three, to do my bronzer to start off with and see how we go. And I'm going to take it on this really beautiful bronzer brush called the Morphe M611, which has like little sparkly bits in the handle. Like it is so stunning, so soft. Oh my god, probably my favourite Morphe brush that I've ever like felt before. Like it's so freaking soft. So I'm going to use this to apply the bronzer. Start around the tip. Really nice. I feel like it's adding a nice kind of touch of sun, literally like the perfect way the bronzer describes itself. Going on nice and smoothly, it's not making my makeup like stick or anything. On top of my forehead. I'm in love with this brush. Like this brush is amazing. Take that under my jaw. And then I always like to take a little bit extra bronzer, tap off the excess in the back of my hand and kind of like just dab it across the centre of my face. Almost as if I was giving myself like a sun-kissed look, but I like to add it to the glam kind of contour bronzer. Yeah, I really like that bronzer. It's added a nice touch of sun. Yeah, that is definitely going to be my new everyday bronzer. Love, love, love. And I love a matte bronzer. I don't like shimmery ones because they pick up the texture of my skin. I'm now going to do a nose contour, and I'm taking the Morphe M412 brush, which is this really fluffy kind of eyeshadow blending brush. I'm going to take the shade Bronze Vibes, which is the one with the cool undertone, and I'm going to use that to contour down my nose very, very lightly and bring that into the eyeshadow so it all kind of blends together. I'm going to start from up here, right where the eyebrows meet the touch of the nose, and then just take it down the side of the nose very, very lightly, like I'm almost barely touching the skin. Going around the nostrils, down here, just so it blends in. It kind of looks a little bit weird, but it all blend together. I feel like that's just kind of added a lot more like structure to the face. Yeah, that is a good nose contour. I'm just going to take my bronzer brush and just quickly dab over that just to make sure it's extra blended. Yeah, I like that nose contour. Okay, the powders are definitely a win from me. Very, very happy with those. That's definitely going to be my new like nose contour and bronzer combo. I feel like I can never control this like random like frizz whenever I have curly hair, but because of the backlights it enhances it so much more, and all I can see like hair bits. Okay, so now moving on to the blush. I'm really, really happy with that bronzer. I feel like it sits on the skin really nicely. I'm going to take the Morphe Blush Trio. This is in the shade Pop Peach. And I'm going to take the middle shade right here, which is called Creator. I'm going to just pop that onto my cheeks. When you layer like a cream product, no, a powder product on top of a cream product, that's how you really get that longevity. So with any step in your makeup, layer powder on top of cream, and I promise it will last so much longer. Just going in with that shade right there. Lightly dabbing that on top because you can still kind of see the cream blush actually. That with my nose because it's cute. I'm now just going to set the face with my Morphe Luminous Setting Spray. Okay, I'm just going to let that dry for a little bit. while that setting spray is still kind of drying, I'm just going to show you the highlighters that came in the PR box, which are just all so gorgeous. So there's 5 of them, and as you can tell, they have a slightly lighter packaging to the bronzer. I just really like the packaging of this collection. It's giving me like if Coachella was from like 4 years ago kind of vibes, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so there's 5 shades. I'm just going to give you a run through of these now. So the first one that we have is a Dripping Gold, which is obviously a gold highlight. I don't tend to use these on my face because obviously I am lighter, so when you put the gold on I feel like you can see the line. So I like to use a gold highlighter for my body when I have fake tanned, put it on the collarbones, a little bit down the shins, maybe like your shoulders, that kind of thing. Looks really pretty. So that is Dripping Gold. I'm going to use a different shade for the inner corner highlight. Then you have Frosted Champagne, which I thought would be champagne colour. The actual colour of this, I'm not going to lie, it did surprise me. It literally looks like a pure white kind of highlight. It actually reminds me of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Iced Out highlighter, where it looks very white in the pan. So I'm kind of curious to see. Actually, I'm going to give it a little swatch. I haven't swatched any of these, by the way, on my hand. Okay, that is literally like very, very, very light. So someone with a very light skin tone would suit this very well. For me, I think it's a little bit too light for the cheeks, but maybe on the inner corner, I think that could look really nice. Then we have Gilded Glow, which is definitely going to be my go-to. So similar to the Frosted Champagne colour, it is very light, but just has a little bit more of like a warmer kind of golden undertone almost. I'm just going to give that a little swatch on my hand. Obviously you can't really tell the swatches because they're highlighters, but from what I can see from the reflection, that is definitely better suited, so I think I probably will use this one, which is Gilded Glow. Then you have Rose Glimmer, which is a pinky highlight. I love pink highlighter. I still do, ever since I used to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild palette. I feel like pink highlighters are so underrated. They just look so cute and like pixie fairy, like love them, especially for festival makeup. So that is really pretty. Also has like gold kind of undertones going through that. I won't use it today, but I definitely will use that colour. And then finally we have Sunset Gleams, which is like a dark bronzy orangey shade. Again, not for my skin tone, but for a darker skin. So I'm going to put that in a little collection and ask my friend if she would like these. I think these would look stunning on her, but just for me, that would obviously not work for my skin tone. So yeah, I think it's really good that they've come up with different kind of undertones of highlighters and powders to play with. So I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Gilded Glow, which is this one right here, as an inner corner highlight, a little bit on my nose and my cheekbones. I'm just going to take a highlighter brush and go to town. Just very lightly dusting that on the top of my cheekbone. So it's nice. It's not super intense, but it's adding a glow. So definitely not the most like intense Morphe highlighter. I've tried the most intense one, if that's what you're looking for, is definitely the Star Blazer palette. So this one is adding a nice glow to the skin. Put it on my end of my nose, down my nose, with the lip. Now I'm going to take this little brush and just pop some on the inner corner to make it pop. So I mean, everything comes together when you add all the final touches. And now we get to finish the look off with the lips. So I'm going to take the Morphe Sweet Tea lip liner, of course. So good, and that was just such a satisfying pop, so you know this is going to be good. And go ahead and line my lips. And then I'm taking my favourite Morphe lipstick of all time, which is Wifey. And then I think we need some gloss. For gloss, I just quickly added the Morphe Make It Big Clear Lip Gloss. Obviously it is not going to be clear anymore, but that is absolutely fine. It just means it's not going to add like any extra colour to the lipstick already there. So yeah, this is the finished makeup look using the Bronze collection from Morphe. Love it, love it, love it. And this is like my kind of go-to smoky glam look anyway, and I feel like this is so achievable with this collection. Absolutely love all of the packaging and everything. And do you know what? I always love Morphe eyeshadow palettes, right? But this brush is my favourite thing from the collection, because this actually took me away at how freaking soft this is and like how perfectly like tapered this is for your bronzer. Love this brush. That you're going to get anything from this collection, make it be this bronzer brush because it's my new favourite. I absolutely love it. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. You can get a discount with Morphe. My code is GLAMFAM334. You get £5 off purchase of £10 or more. It is not an affiliate code, however they will obviously see if you use my code on anything, but yeah, feel free to use it if it helps you out. But yeah, this is the finished makeup look. I'm absolutely obsessed with like the packaging, and the highlighter that I used on my cheek was really lovely. I think it's something that I'd use on like an everyday basis. The bronzer was really nice, and I definitely will steer towards that, and the eyeshadow palette is beautiful. So yeah, thumbs up from me. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and seeing me doing some kind of makeup content. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye. Sorry, I just remembered to do my outro properly. If you made it this far, well done. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Give the video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload a new video, and follow me on my social media pages. I'm shivonmakeupbiz on everything.